Hello, my name is Niall Lyons, and along with my partner Emma O'Keefe, we have been working on analysing tweets on the 8th Amendment for our third year project. We have worked alongside Professor Andy Way and Haitem Afley to produce and develop this project. So what exactly is the 8th Amendment? So the 8th Amendment states that the state acknowledges the right to life of the unborn and, with due regard to equal right to life of the mother, guarantees in its laws to respect and, as far as practicable by its laws, to defend and vindicate that right. So in simpler terms, as it stands, abortion is a criminal offence in Ireland under the Offences Against the Person Act in 1961. The amendment acknowledges the right to life of the unborn, equating it with the mother's right to life. So when this was passed 31 years ago, it was heralded as a victory for pro-life activists. So upon election to Taoiseach of Leo Varadkar in June 2017, there has been an ongoing debate as he announced that a referendum would take place on whether the 8th Amendment to the Constitution, which gives an equal right to life to the mother and the unborn child, should be retained, repealed or amended. So what is it that we're doing and why are we doing this? So the aim of our project is to predict the outcome of the referendum through sentiment analysis on tweets. So we will be building upon ADAPT's world-leading sentiment analysis tools to see can the users with the furthest reach or influence of either side, namely pro-choice or pro-life, be identified and visualized. So we wanted to do this because there's no other platform like this that exists in Ireland right now, and it's such a big movement that we felt that there should be one. So we want to be able to track people's opinions and see, does that opinion change after, for example, a TD comes out and announces something about abortion in Ireland, and what are their influences? So how are we going to do this? So through three diagrams, namely a system context diagram, a component relationship diagram, and an architectural overview diagram, I will show you how the system will work. So as you can see here, it's a system context diagram. So a system context diagram shows the system as a single high-level process, which shows relationships that the system has with other entities that bring the whole system together. So in the diagram above, it shows four separate entities that bring the system together, namely the Twitter API, our sentiment analysis tool, an AWS server, and a user. So we start off with our Twitter API, which streams tweets straight into our system where they are stored. We then move on to work with our sentiment analysis tool, where it takes tweet information and returns the sentiment and statistics that we are looking for. These are all running continuously on our AWS server, which collects tweets every half an hour, where our user is accessing this data through the user interface. We then move on to the component relationship diagram. So a component relationship diagram, its main purpose is to show the structural relationships between the components of a system. Here we show how each component interacts with each other. So we start at our Twitter API. So this component interacts with both the data processor, where the tweet data is held, and our sentiment analysis processor, where the data sentiment is scored. So from there, our sentiment analysis component interacts with our statistics manager, which stores all our statistics here. So from these statistics, CSV files are made in the CSV generator. This helps to develop our graphs. So our AWS server is constantly running and generating these graphs, which in turn generates the web interface. So I'm now going to show you the architectural overview diagram. So an architectural overview diagram describes the key elements of a system, including the shape, the structural patterns, and the key user interactions. Above we can see our four key elements. So they include the user, the system access, the services, and the interfaces that we have. So each having a major role to how the system works. So our actors access our system. So our actors here are the members of the public, TDs or journalists. So our actors are access our system through an internet browser where they can see graphs, and in our user interface, while they are seeing this in the background, a lot of services are taking place in the back end. So tweets are being streamed live from Twitter. So these tweets are both in the English language and in the Irish language. They're then being stored and scored on sentiment. So the statistics are then made from these scores and CSV files generated to develop the graphs, all while running on our AWS server. So when the user logs in, they can go straight to our graphs page and look at the graphs in real time. So these graphs are updated every 30 minutes. So I'm now going to bring you to the website that we have developed to show all these services in action. So this is the page that you're directed to after entering the URL of the website. As you can see, that we show what the 8th amendment is and also what you can get from this website. So we show that a little bit of background to what Leo Varadkar has said, and also what you can get from this website, but also stating that they're in English, that we're looking at the English language tweets and Irish language tweets to get the opinion of the whole nation and to get a wider range of voters. So here on our sidebar we have links. So the first one is the one that I've just explained, the About section. Our second is the graphs page where all the information is visualized, and we also have a contact page where you can send us any queries or messages that you may have. So here we can access our contact page. So this is our contact page. So we look at and show who the owners are and who have made this, and how we can, and we will respond to you. So for example, if I wanted to contact us, I would write in my name here. I would then write in my email address. I would then put in my phone number, and then I would write something. So hi, I like website, and I would then press submit. So that is now submitted to us, and we are able to give you feedback and respond to you as soon as we can. We also in our form, just in case we actually can't respond to people, we have built in here where it has to be a valid account. So if I just put in Niall.lines, it will show please include an @ so it's an actual email address. So what we've done is we've also built in compatibility for users that use mobile phones or iPads, etc. So if I make this smaller, it shows that the page is the same size as the screen. So this is what the website looks like on a mobile phone, for example. So we then move on to our graphs. So here we show 4 separate graphs. So the first graph represents the percentage of positive and negative tweets. The second graph is the number of tweets collected since the 26th of February. This is when we started running the Twitter streaming on our server. We also have the amount of tweets per county and the amount of tweets per country. So I'll start explaining the percentage of positive and negative tweets first. So here we can see that right now that the negative sentiment score is 38.43 and positive is 58.01. So remember, these numbers and this data changes every 30 minutes. So here we can see that positive is being to repeal the 8th and negative is to retain the 8th. So this is this gives you a good visualization of what is actually happening in real time. So for example, if a journalist or people are writing research papers want to use these in their in their work, we can actually save this. So we can go up here, and if we want to print the chart, I can press print chart, and that will print for me, or we can print it that way. We can also then save it. So if I click here again, and we can save as different types of files. So for example, I want to save it as a PNG file. I press this, and down in the bottom left hand corner it shows that I have downloaded it to my local machine. We then have the number of tweets collected. So as of now, we have collected 12,877 tweets. So this will change every half an hour. So at the moment, with the way the amendment is going and the recent news about it, we're collecting in around 7 to 1,000 tweets every half an hour. So this is a huge number. Again, we can do the same, print chart or download the chart. We also then looked at the tweets per county. So we broke up the 12,877 tweets per county, so to see where exactly all these are coming from. So as you can see here, 37.4% of all the tweets have came from Dublin. And for example, here we have 0.2 from Longford, 0.7 from Carlow, we have 0.1 from Monaghan, and etc, etc. We also have this here, which is unknown, which is 41%. Unfortunately with Twitter, when you're becoming a user, you don't have to say where you're from, so it's impossible to see your location when you don't do that. So that unknown is 41%. They're from Ireland, but we just can't see what counties they're from. We then go on to look at the tweets per country. So while we were streaming tweets, we found that a lot of people were streaming about the 8th Amendment referendum in Ireland from different countries. So these are people that have either emigrated or have left for work, or whatever their case may be. So at the moment, it shows that 17.15 of our tweets are from Ireland. We also showed that other, again, is this the unknown, so it doesn't actually say where they're from, but we know that they're from Ireland, but we can't say exactly what county they're from. But we know that they're from Ireland. We also show null here. So null is the other countries. So mainly the other countries would be America and Australia, with 14.79% coming from there. So these are people who are tweeting about it, for example, tweeting that they want to come home and vote because it's so precious to them. So through these 4 graphs, we can get an overall idea of how people are feeling about the referendum and what the overall outcome will be when it is announced. So we expect when it is announced what date it will be, that there will be a very big rise and difference in the percentages here. So to go back to our homepage, we just click back to homepage here, which brings us back to where we were. So that is our website. Thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.